Dear Dairy. It's kind of late. It's it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 12:34. It's one of my favorite times of day. Let's see what the seconds are at. Oh, here it comes. We're coming up on my absolute favorite time of day, and it only occurs twice. Because the clock, in a few seconds, will read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I just love that. I don't know why I like that so much. It's just a sequential thing, I guess. Here it comes. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, now you know exactly what time it is that I'm recording this. So yeah, a little bit late, later than normal. We had quite a few people over earlier, and it was way too noisy for me to record. So I decided to simply bide my time and wait until they all went to bed. And much to my surprise, like midnight, like 11:45, midnight, everybody's gone. I mean, they're not gone. They're all in their rooms. It's very strange. And it's a little bit chilly, so I'm wearing my shawl. Anyway. Yesterday, while a little bit drunk and a little bit stuffed. Actually, I wasn't that stuffed, really. It was a good dinner. Like I think I mentioned, we went out to Black Angus, which is like right down the street. We had a reservation, and we could either get the Thanksgiving meal, where it's, they bring you Thanksgiving dinner, and it features all the standard classic stuff, or we could order something off the menu, which is what we all did, because none of us apparently were in the mood for turkey and stuffing and entrails and acid gravy and wood chips and stuff like that, and pecan, rhubarb, lemon meringue, apple cherry pie. Although that doesn't actually sound that good. Never mind. Rhubarb pie is good. Each of those pies individually is very good, but try to mix them all together. No. I think apple rhubarb, actually, those two go together, which is kind of amusing because apples, well, they're kind of tart too, but rhubarb is very, very tangy. I love rhubarb. I haven't had it in a long time. Getting off topic, sort of. Anyway, so I had like a nice top sirloin steak and some onion rings that were decently cooked. When you bit into them, they didn't, and pull it back, you didn't have like 3 feet of onion hanging out of your mouth. And then steamed broccoli and the white chocolate raspberry cheesecake pie that I mentioned. I didn't mention the white chocolate part. I know I mentioned the raspberry part. It was, when I saw the picture, I was like, oh God. Oh, that looks really tasty. And there's going to be those among you who will be like, you said you don't like chocolate. I don't care for chocolate very much, unless it's mixed with something else, like raspberries. Oh my God. And white chocolate's actually pretty good. Anyway, it was very decent. Had an Oreo cookie crust kind of thing. Now you're all going to be like, oh. Anyway, nice dinner, had a pitcher of beer because it was Thursday. And the waiter, he came over and he's like, and what would you like? And I wound up getting something that was basically like a bass, but a little bit darker. It was, I can't remember exactly what it was called. It might have been a bullseye red or something like that. But it was much more of a red thing. It was like it's somewhere between Killian's Red and Bass. So it's a slightly darker flavor than Bass. So it was decent. And I told him, I wanted a pitcher. And he's like, okay, I'll bring you a glass. I'm like, don't. There's no reason to dirty another glass. I'll just drink out of the pitcher. And he kind of laughed and walked off. And I'm like, fucker, listen to me. I told you what I wanted. So he came back and he's got the glass and the pitcher and he starts pouring. I'm like, no. Again, not listening. He keeps pouring. I'm like, I was like, stop. And he was like, what? I said, I don't want it in the glass. And he's like, oh, really? I said, That's why I said don't bother bringing a glass, because there's no point in dirtying it, because I'm going to be the only one drinking it. Ultimately, wound up giving it to my housemate, letting him try it, and he was drinking like half of what was there, and didn't quite finish it. I poured it back into the pitcher, just drank out of the pitcher. It's like, damn it, just listen to me when I tell you something like this. I'm not kidding. Anyway, so yeah, it was a pretty good meal. Nice. And then came back, and like I said, we watched The Hogfather, which, if you have not seen or read The Hogfather, read it, because that is the better option. If you are one of those lazy shits who doesn't like to read, then you can watch The Hogfather, but you really should read it, because it's really good, and the movie will never be as good as your imagination can make it. Books are always going to be better, unless they're shittily written, which this is Terry Pratchett, so it's not. Yeah, we watched The Hogfather, which our friend who was visiting had never seen before. It was awesome. And then I think I mentioned the dream that I had, not last night, but the night before, because I started talking about it before we went off to watch The Hogfather. It was some dragon eggs as cannonballs. And like I said, there was kind of a Game of Thrones Targaryen thing. It took a tremendous amount of heat to incubate dragon eggs. And I don't mean, the Khal Drogo, barbecue. I don't mean that. I mean an intense amount of heat and pressure, which is why they were being used as cannonballs. And that would trigger the incubation process. Once it was started, it was fine, but you had to get it really hot and really pressurized, which is why they were usually stored in magma chambers, I think. Anyway, the the other thing was Batman Beyond, which, like I said last night, I've been watching a fair bit of, and I really like the darker aspect of it. The fact that it's a little bit more edgy, and they actually show blood, which is cool. Not often, but like, Batman or Terry or whatever will get, hurled back against a building, and you'll see blood coming out of the corner of his mouth. I'm like, ooh, because they did that on Gargoyles. I think they did it in the pilot of Gargoyles. There's a scene right in the pilot where it's still back in medieval period, and the humans are attacking, and one of the guys is bringing this sword down, and Goliath catches it in his hand, and when the blade hits, it cuts him, and he starts bleeding. And the guy's like, they're immortal, or so they're not immortal after all, whatever. And I was like, whoa, Disney showed blood in a cartoon. Holy crap. You gotta think, because that is not common at all. At least it certainly wasn't then. But I was really, really, I don't want to say proud of them, but I was impressed that they did. I think in a lot of ways we coddle our children a little bit too much sometimes. And by we, I mean Americans. We have to let them fall. We have to let them hurt themselves so they learn not to do it. We have to just, never mind. I'm not going to get into how to raise the kids. That's always a touchy subject. The other thing, which just occurred this evening, was I got a check. Oh, I got a check from AAA. Why would I get a check from AAA, you ask? Why, Trent? Why did you get a check from AAA? You're not with them, and you haven't been for almost 2 years now. Yes, says I to ye who ask. I know that. But back in early August, maybe late whatever the month is before that, July, I received an email saying, hey, there's a problem with your credit card. We couldn't process your membership fee. And I'm like, what? Wait, what membership fee? I'm not with you guys anymore. And when I called in to talk to them about it, they were like, you're right. You're not with us anymore. Why are you being charged? I said, I don't know. That's why I'm calling you. And so the lady went through and she said, yeah, I see the problem. Basically what had happened was my bank, my credit union, had a problem with their security thing. A bunch of, numbers had been compromised on their side. And so they just did this big wipe and just said, okay, we're canceling your debit card, thing, your card, your Visa debit card. That's what I was looking for. We're canceling that out. We're sending you a new one. It'll be there and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And because of that, that's why when AAA tried to run the membership with the previous card, it didn't work. And that's when they emailed me. And I was like, wait, what? Why are you trying to run that card anyway? So when I talked to them, they were like, oh, yeah. Oh, and it looks like we charged you a year ago as well. And you weren't with us then either. I said, I would like that money back, please. And they're like, not a problem. Well, the lady on the phone was like, not a problem. And we laid out the exact plan of how it was going to work. And she was very, very helpful. And it did not work out that way. The 7 to 10 days I was supposed to wait for the first check, it didn't show up. I gave them like 14 days or so. And then I called them and I'm like, guys, where's my, actually, no, they sent a satisfaction survey. And I was like 0, like all the way down. And they contacted me very quickly after that, one of the local offices, and they said, we saw that you seemed dissatisfied with your service. Yeah, you could say that. And then I, took the guys through it, and they were like, oh yeah, we see here where you're in the notes where it says that this is what happens. Yeah, I still haven't got my checks yet. And they're like, oh, well, we'll get right on that. I said, thank you. That would be much appreciated. So ultimately, by the time this, which is the second of 2 checks, has come in now, this is 3 months after this one should have been here. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, we're done. Bye. I'm never doing business with you guys again. I can appreciate the fact that, you need to double check everything, but we had already done that. We had already taken care of all that stuff on the phone with that first lady whose name I've subsequently forgotten. Let this be a note to you all when you are dealing with customer service on the phone. Get the associates, their name and their employee number or something so that you can refer back to them later. Because at some point they're going to say later on when they don't do whatever it is they say they're going to do, either by intent or by accident, they're going to say, do you remember who you spoke to? Make sure you have that information. Always record that stuff. Cover your ass. So I hope you guys all had a great Black Friday. I was here at the house, not doing the running of the bulls at Walmart or Kmart or any other mart or anywhere. I was here, nice, safe, sound, and deliberately not watching the news because American behavior on Black Friday pisses me off to no end. Right. 13 and a half minutes. I will let you guys go because it's now 12:47 and I am going to be doing another photo shoot today, so I actually need to get some sleep. Otherwise, I'm going to be all puffy-eyed and look horrible. And no amount of airbrushing on the computer is going to clean those photos up. So I will talk to you all Sunday. I'm not going to talk to you tonight, which will be Saturday night, because my housemates are supposed to be doing some noisy shit tonight, so I may not even be home. I'm not sure yet. Whatever they've got planned, it sounds like I probably don't want to be here for it, so we'll see. So yeah, until I talk to you guys next, which will probably be Sunday night, I'll be careless.